Well, it's great to see everyone, and I'm really thrilled to be joined by FCC Chair Rosenworcel, who's back in New Hampshire virtually this time to continue our conversation about the importance of ensuring that people in New Hampshire have access to high-speed, affordable broadband. Recently, we brought the Chairwoman to the Manchester Public Library, and we had a few virtual events as well. Thanks to broadband connectivity, we were able to get together that way to talk about this important issue, which we know is not just a New Hampshire issue, it's an issue of national significance. So this is another opportunity to join with Chairwoman Rosenworcel and hear a little bit more about the resources and information that is available for folks. I think it underscores the FCC's commitment to New Hampshire, and for a state like ours and for other states across the country, we know that access to high-speed broadband is just not a luxury, it's a necessity, especially for the kind of future we hope to create. I think the numbers about what we see in New Hampshire are very well known, and I know the Chairwoman understands the unique situation that we face. We've got 5% of folks in our state who live in an area where there's just no broadband infrastructure to speak of. In 62% of our state lives in an area where there's only one internet provider. And so even where the infrastructure is available, we know that broadband may be too expensive to reach everyone. That means about 10% of New Hampshire households don't even have an internet subscription. So I think these are stark numbers, and we know that there's a significant population in our state that's dealing with a lack of access to affordable broadband. So we've been working with a number of communities to help secure funding for broadband infrastructure. Specifically, obviously, there's tremendous support in both the American Rescue Plan as well as the bipartisan infrastructure bill to build out the networks we need to support the needs of our businesses and our residents alike. But beyond that, we know that there's more to do. When you look at the American Rescue Plan, it provided $7.2 billion in additional funding for FCC's E-rate program that helps get our schools and libraries connected to the internet. We talked about that during the chair's last visit to New Hampshire. Under this program, schools and libraries are eligible for 100% reimbursement for costs associated with eligible services and equipment. The COVID-19 relief and government funding package that the House passed at the end of 2020 also included $7 billion for broadband initiatives. And as I mentioned before, the bipartisan infrastructure bill has about $65 billion included in it for broadband. And that includes $42.5 billion to fund a grant-based program to build out a broadband network and focus on deployment, $600 million to allow states to finance broadband deployment. That's based on a bill that Senator Hassan worked on, $2 billion for programs funded by USDA, including the Reconnect program that focuses specifically on rural areas, and $14.2 billion for an affordable connectivity benefit, which builds on the emergency broadband benefit that I know Chairwoman Rosenworcel, we talked about during your last visit. And that particular program provides a permanent $30 a month voucher for low-income families to afford internet service. So this is a long way to say that we've been working to leverage resources for New Hampshire to close that gap, but there certainly is more work to do. And we all know that access to high-speed broadband is essential in a 21st century economy. It is essential to make sure that residents can access education, government services, healthcare, commerce, and all the other services that they can access online. So we're going to continue to work on this, but I'm just really pleased with the attention that the FCC has paid to New Hampshire and has done to stand up an affordability program that's really made a difference. So I'm eager to turn this over to Chairwoman Rosenworcel for some comments, and then maybe we can get at some additional details of where we've been over the last year and where we hope to go with the new program. Chairwoman, it's nice to see you, and I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Congressman Pappas. It's a treat to be here with you. It was even more fun to join you in Manchester. You know, I'm a New England native, so it's not a hardship assignment to wind up coming up and visiting you back home. Hope I can do it again soon. As you just rattled off, there are more programs than we've ever had in this country before to get every household and everyone connected to high-speed internet service. So I think we are on the cusp of generational change, where we decide that getting every household connected is as important as it was a century ago to get every household connected to electricity. 100% of us, nothing less. We've got to figure out how to reach people in the most rural locations and also make sure everybody can afford it. Because as you mentioned, during this pandemic, we've gone online like never before. It's for work, it's for healthcare, it's for education, it's for entertainment, you name it. We all need to be connected. And we absolutely want to make sure that affordability is not a barrier. So the FCC has been running a program it now calls the Affordable Connectivity Program that helps low-income households get online and stay online so they don't have to make hard choices between gas and groceries and their internet bill. We've got 15,000 households in New Hampshire that are already on it. But the truth is, I know there are others we can reach. And we want to make sure that we get you the information you need so you can get the word out in New Hampshire, because I know that programs like this are most successful when people hear about it from folks in their community and people in institutions they trust. So I'd love it if we could turn it over to someone from the FCC who could tell us a little bit more about the program. If you have specific questions, we can follow up after that. Ed, would you be able to take it away?
Sure thing. Thank you. Let me pull up some slides real quickly here. Start by saying thank you, Chairwoman Rosenworcel, and thank you, Congressman Pappas, for inviting us to join you today. The Affordable Connectivity Program, as you guys had mentioned, is a long-term replacement to the emergency broadband benefit. And it will allow students to connect to classrooms, individuals to work remotely, and it connects all of us to family, friends, telehealth services, and other critical resources. So the benefit provides eligible households with up to a $30 a month discount for broadband services, including associated equipment rentals, such as a modem, up to a $75 discount for households located on tribal lands, and it can provide a one-time discount of up to $100 for a laptop, desktop computer, or tablet purchased through a participating provider if the household contributes more than $10 and less than $50 towards the purchase price. It's important to note that the connected device must be provided by the same provider that the eligible household is receiving discounted broadband service from as part of the Affordable Connectivity Program. It's not a coupon or a rebate, and it can't be used at a third-party retail store to buy a device. The ACP is limited to one monthly service discount and one device discount per eligible household, and it's not a direct-to-consumer benefit. So it's a discount off the monthly service bill and or device, and then the provider seeks reimbursement directly from the program. And the program is administered by the Universal Service Administrative Company. They also administer the Lifeline program, and they host the application portal, which is acpbenefit.org. So we'll talk about who's eligible now. A household is eligible for the Affordable Connectivity Program if the household income is at or below 200% of federal poverty guidelines, or if a member of the household meets at least one of the following criteria. They participate in certain assistance programs such as SNAP, Medicaid, Federal Public Housing Assistance, SSI, WIC, or Lifeline. They participate in some tribal-specific programs such as Bureau of Indian Affairs General Assistance, Tribal TANF, or food distribution programs on Indian reservations. If they participate in the National School Lunch Program or School Breakfast Program, including through the USDA Community Eligibility Provision, and that's for either the current school year or the previous school year. And if someone in the household has received a federal Pell Grant during the current award year, or if they meet the eligibility criteria for a participating provider's existing low-income internet program. And keep in mind that a member of the household must only meet one of those eligibility criteria, not all 6 of the ones we talked about, in order to be eligible for the program. Current Lifeline participants are automatically eligible, and in most cases, they don't need to apply separately for the ACP. But they do need to select a service plan in order to start receiving the benefit. And households can receive both the Lifeline and the ACP benefits at the same time, and they can be applied to the same qualifying service or separately to a Lifeline service and an ACP service with the same or different providers. So for example, you could have a home internet service supported by ACP and a wireless service supported by Lifeline. The program opened for enrollment on December 31st. And there are 2 steps households need to take to enroll. The first is to go to acpbenefit.org to complete an online application or print out and mail in an application. You can also call 877-384-2575 to request a paper application be mailed to you that you can then fill out and return. After they've completed the application, they need to contact their preferred participating provider to select a plan and to have the discount applied to their bill. Some providers may have an alternative application that they ask households to complete. And it's critical for eligible households to remember that they need to both apply for the program and contact a participating provider to select a plan. And this is true even if you want to apply the benefit to your existing service with a participating provider already in the program. I'm going to share some important consumer protections that are part of the Affordable Connectivity Program. So the Affordable Connectivity Program rules include some new consumer protections. Consumers can choose the service plan that best meets their needs, including a plan they may already be on. Consumers can't be denied access to the program or program-supported services based on their credit. Eligible households can't be excluded based on prior debt with a participating provider. Consumers can't be forced into more expensive or lower quality plans in order to receive the ACP. Consumers can change their benefit to a different participating service provider at any time. And the program rules are also designed to reduce the potential for bill shock or other financial harms for participating consumers. And in addition to those protections, we've also created a dedicated ACP complaint process, and that's available at consumercomplaints.fcc.gov. Next, I wanted to quickly touch on what some legacy EBB households that are transitioning to the ACP program should expect in advance of the March 1st end of the transition period. Households enrolled in the EBB program as of 12/31/21 will continue to receive their current monthly benefit until March 1st of 2022. Most emergency broadband benefit households will not have to take any action to continue receiving the new $30 monthly benefit after the transition period ends on March 1st. Households located on qualifying tribal lands will continue to receive a $75 monthly benefit and will not need to take any action to continue receiving the Affordable Connectivity Program benefit. After the transition period ends on March 1st, the monthly discount for all legacy EBB participants not located on qualifying tribal lands will be reduced to $30. And consumers should contact their provider if they're concerned about a possible increase in their monthly bill or they're interested in changing to a different service plan. We do have a toolkit available just like we did for EBB. So you can go online and find a number of great resources that you can download, print out, and customize to help us spread the word about the ACP program. And I've got some resources here as well. fcc.gov/ACP is where you can find all the information about the program. Again, the number to call for support or to request a mail-in application is 877-384-2575. And you can find our toolkit at fcc.gov/ACP toolkit. And if you have additional questions after you've seen the video or today's event, you can email acpinfo@fcc.gov. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Congressman.
Well, Ed, thanks very much for that information. And I'm glad that you have all the relevant phone numbers and email addresses and URLs there at the end for us to share, not only with constituents, but with advocates and stakeholders who can help us disseminate this information to our district and across New Hampshire. I really appreciate that. Just one thing I wanted to highlight again, I know the programs are transitioning March 1st. So if, these thousands of households in New Hampshire that are enrolled in the emergency broadband benefit will probably have a seamless transition to the new program. But when will new individuals and households be eligible to get online with the ACP?
So I can jump in here. They could start signing up for ACP on December 31st of 2021. So today they can go online and enroll and start to receive that benefit.
Terrific. Well, thanks very much for that clarification. And thank you again, Madam Chair, for your time here today and for bringing us all this great information for our constituents in New Hampshire. I appreciate it. Any closing thoughts or comments before we wrap up?
No, I know there are challenges getting everyone connected in New Hampshire and in your district, but let's keep working on it and not stop until every single household has the connection they need.
Great. I appreciate that commitment. We really have to strive to achieve universal access to affordable high-speed broadband. That's something that's on the minds of a lot of folks here. So thanks for helping to deliver that message today, and great resources that folks can access to get signed up. So great to see you guys, and thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Next time in New Hampshire.
All right. I'll hold you to that. Thanks very much.
Okay, take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.